What's up, everyone? This is Scarzig, and welcome to my new series, Lost Kingdoms. So, getting right into it, Lost Kingdoms is a old real-time strategy card-based game from Software of Dark Souls fame. This game is for the GameCube, came out in 2002. The disappearance of a small forest was the first sign of the approaching evil. One morning, villagers awoke to find a solid wall of fog where their forest should have been. Some men, braver than others, ventured into the pitch-black mist. They were never heard from again. Of course, that's how it always goes down. The next day, the lake disappeared. It was not long before the impenetrable mist enshrouded the village itself. Nothing but an impenetrable mist turned day into night. By ancient covenant, the rulers of the five kingdoms had banned all interaction between their nations. Now, five kings abandoned their isolation to look for a solution. Gotta defeat the fog. Man, that scrolls really fast. Anyway, ageless evil, mysterious fog swallowing up villages. Classic never-ending story style sort of storyline, of course. You can move the now loading sign around with your stick. Oh wow, nice little opening cutscene. First person. Okay, that's pretty good. For 2002 GameCube game, that was a pretty cinematic cut there. Princess Katia, our worst fears have come true. And this is the princess. This is the character you play as, of course. A Longian warrior. The black fog is at the gates of the castle. The king, Theobane. The black fog must be stopped. I would not leave you here alone, but a king's first duty is to his people. You will understand someday. If the castle is attacked, find the runestone and flee. Guard it with your life, daughter. Alright, so we're watching the castle while the king is running around, meeting up with the other kingdoms to find a solution to stop the black fog. No one's ever entered the fog and returned alive. The black fog is upon us. I guess the legend of the runestone was nothing more than a child's tale after all. Anyway, gotta go find the runestone, which is in the castle treasury. The king said all five kingdoms have to join together or we'll all be doomed. Fear not, your highness, Lord Unther is with the king, and no one has ever beaten Unther in a fight. Okay, that's nice. This is a map of Arguil. That's the world that this takes place in. The positions of each of the five kingdoms are laid out on the map. Yeah, the king left to investigate the black fog. Long ago, the kings of the five kingdoms signed a sacred covenant. The covenant prohibited them from interfering with each other. We've had peace ever since, until now. So in order to keep peace, the kingdoms just leave each other alone. It's kind of odd that they have like a map of the five kingdoms if they don't even like mess with each other. But let's go up to this chest here. This is the runestone, the only chest in the treasury. It's a very poor kingdom. Everybody works for free. Skeletons. Yeah, they got nasty, bloody mouths. Oh yeah, you know that From Software made this. Look at those skeletons. Guardian of the Sacred Covenant. The power of the card flows in your blood. Oh my god, that card is huge. It's like the iPhone 6. Her hands are huge too, so it's okay. Okay, so she summons this bird guy. Takes out the one skeleton. Now I've got to fight the other one. Alright. Hit him. Hit him again. Hit him again. Perfect. That card there that was on the B button is the lizard man. Just comes out and attacks and then disappears. And different cards have all kinds of different attack styles and types. We'll get into that a lot later. I'll be trying to use a variety of cards in this run. The Great One said unto us, I present you with these 5 runestones to protect you from he who would destroy you. You and your heirs are charged with the task of guarding the runestones for all eternity. Wow, that's a pretty tall order there. Honor your duty, and you shall be rewarded with everlasting prosperity. Okay. prosperity, and prosperous enough to have one chest in the treasury. We, the Runestone Bearers, hereby divide the land into 5 realms as prescribed by the Great One. We swear by the runestones that we will uphold this sacred covenant from now until the end of the world. Okay, that sounds fine. I suppose you don't have to have gold in the treasury to be considered prosperous. Did you get the cards? And let's be off. Who let this old woman in the castle? No, I don't have a burly brother stashed away. Who am I, you ask? Yes, who are you? This is what the guards should be asking you. I'm the only person that can teach you how to use those cards you found in the treasury. You'll better come with me if you want to stay alive. Come now, my cute little guardian of the covenant. You just leave everything up to old Gerd. Okay, so this is Gerd. That thing looks heavy on her back. Aw yeah, 5 stars. So you get a rating at the end of every level, and 5-star ratings lets you pick 3 cards. So let's use these 3. Nice. Got the skeleton, Birdman, and a fairy, which heals you. Okay. The Birdman does the same thing it did in that cutscene. It just comes out, does a big spear stab, and then disappears. Princess Katia of Alanja has defeated the monsters that threaten the castle. Her victory provides little relief. Despite all attempts to stem the tide of mist, more areas fall victim to the black fog each day. No one knows where it comes from or why it has appeared. Unless the secret of the black fog can be unlocked, the entire world will fall into darkness. Entrusting the defense of the castle to her knights, the princess sets forth on a quest to save the world. Her only companion on the journey is the mysterious old crone Gerd. And they tell you about your deck. Your deck can only be 30 cards. You can edit your deck from the start menu screen here. I'm going to put in the skeleton, the fairy, and the Birdman card that I found before. Some more stats. But yeah. Looking good, looking good. Let's go to the first level here. The Plains of Rowell. Guided by the mysterious old crone Gerd, the princess has come to the Plains of Rowell. Her long journey has only just begun. Or it should be Rowell. Saying Rowell. Rowell? Plains of Rowell. Ugh. Weird spellings. Now let's see, Katia, wasn't it? She doesn't even know my name. I'm the princess. You have much to learn, your highness. The guardians of the runestones are given the power to command monsters through the cards of power. That power is the only chance we have of defeating the evil loosed upon the world. Whether you like it or not, you must stand up and fight. First, you'll have to learn how to control the monsters. I'll teach you the way of the cards. This place is full of goblins. That makes it the perfect place to start your training. Are you ready? I don't give fancy lectures. You'll figure it out once you see those goblins coming. Okay, so you offer to teach me the way of the cards, and then you say you're not going to teach me, and I'll just have to figure it out when the goblins are trying to kill me. That's cool. That's perfect. Can't wait to get started. You will use the power of the cards to defeat the monsters. And then she said, yep, A, B, X, and Y to use cards. Here comes your first goblin. Alright, so let's hit him in the face. 1 and 2. Okay, perfect. The Lizard Man card has 3 charges, so you can use it 3 times before it's all the way used up and it's discarded. Not bad for a beginner. Let's continue. And the way the rating system gives you stars at the end of the level, it goes by like how much damage you dealt, how much damage you took, things like that. In order to use the card, you need power. You get that power from magic stones. Da-da-da. I'll go into that in just a second. He's just giving you basic tutorial stuff. Now, the way the rating system works is it goes off of how many cards you use total in the level. But a card doesn't count as used unless it's all the way used up. So I can discard that Lizard Man with 1 charge. And that way I'm left with... that way it's 1 less card I'll have to use. Use the Raven here. It has 3 charges as well. So there we go. So it's just it's a way to sort of get extra mileage out of your cards. So that card there that you just saw explode was the Mandragora. You have to throw a card at it to activate it, but since I'm trying to save my cards, I'm just going to run into it to activate it, and it kills itself when it explodes. So that ends the fight. We're going to head down here to grab this chest. What is it? Another Hobgoblin card. And those Hobgoblin cards are okay. Those guys don't really say anything. The NPCs have some really unique text and everything, but really nothing useful. But what Gerd was trying to say earlier about the magic stones is you saw when I've been attacking these monsters, those big gems fall out of them, and you have to collect those. You use the power of those gems to summon cards. And you can still summon cards when you're out of gems. You see the 10 with the purple ring around it in the top left corner. That's how much meter it costs. The Lizard Man costs like 2 per charge. Certain cards summoned cost like 3 or 4, etc. And if you run out of that without picking up the stones, and you have to pay life force, these big stones here have additional tutorial information about card types and card attributes. But we'll cross those bridges when they come to it. And she's telling me about that right now. We'll get into that soon enough. So here the Hobgoblins are they're fire type creatures. So if I use the Birdman card to attack them, it'll do damage, but because it's a wood type, you see how the card is green, it doesn't do as much damage against fire. So the skeleton is neutral versus since it's an earth creature. We're going to discard it before it gets killed. And we'll use a Birdman here. Since they're low enough, even though the Birdman does reduce damage to fire creatures, should be enough to kill them. Okay, perfect. So, fire beats wood, wood beats earth, earth beats water, and water beats fire. Those are the 4 attributes. There's also a neutral attribute, but you don't run into neutral attribute creatures until way later in the game. And this is called a deck point. It refills your HP and allows you to edit your deck. You can put in the cards that you've found so far throughout the level into the deck. So, right here, early in the game, you don't have a lot of cards to work with, so that comes in handy. Because you only start off with like 12 cards. So here versus these Hobgoblins, I'm going to try to summon one of mine. You see it has 3 rune cost and 3 rune cost. So let's see what these Hobgoblins can do. Never mind, they're getting creamed. Like I said, I'm just trying to be frugal with the cards that I'm using here and just sort of cycling through what I have available. If you discard a card, you can't use it again for that same battle. So as you're cycling through, you do still have to be careful. So let's summon a Man-Trap here. And what I'm going to try to do is the Man-Trap does reduce damage to the Goblin, but I'm going to use the Raven to cancel its attacks and sort of bait it in so the Man-Trap can get free damage on it from the other side. Perfect. So, not too shabby. And the other runestone that wasn't talking about attributes was talking about the different card types. There's weapon types, independent type, like how I summoned the Hobgoblin and the Man-Trap and the Skeleton, and how they kind of run around and attack on their own. Those are independent type. Up this path, you'll find the boss of the Goblins. Remember what I've taught you? Go teach him what the Princess of Elandria can do. The third type is summon type. It's a creature that comes out, does one big attack, and then just disappears. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off. Oh, Mandragora baited him. He just goes off. And this Man-Trap, I'm going to try to summon my Man-Trap here. And, oh man, come on. That's the bad thing about independent creatures, is if you summon them and their attack animation doesn't line up properly, they just get whacked and die for free. There we go. And my Man-Trap, oh my goodness. Yeah, the AI for the independent creatures is really bad. So, let's summon him a bit closer here. Man-Traps are just basic. They're really bad independent creatures. Later on, there's going to be creatures that have better AI. They attack more frequently. Their attacks are stronger. So, overall, independent type creatures are a bit underwhelming, but there's a couple ones that stand out and have really good attack patterns to them and things like that. So, we'll be keeping our eyes peeled for those. I'll be experimenting with a few different cards to see which ones are useful, because I haven't played this game in a long time. This is a semi-blind playthrough. So that way I'm going to be sort of re-experiencing and having the nostalgia for the game, and also having to relearn a lot of the mechanics and different card abilities. So that'll be pretty fun. This goblin spots us from this watchtower and summons their boss, which isn't a goblin. It's a monster called a sand golem, which hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on at the end of this. Don't need any of those. They're almost dead. Ugh. Okay, so these boxes explode. So what I want to do is sort of group up these enemies and have the boxes explode on them. So the goblins, and come here you. Come here. Oh my goodness. Come here. I'm trying to manipulate your AI. There we go. So they're getting blown up by these crates. Oops, got farted on, so I'm poisoned. Poison sucks because every time the poison ticks, you have to stop in place. So poison's actually a really good effect. I only got one. Man. Still poisoned. And I'm going to wait for him to jump out. I got poisoned right at the end. And summon the Birdman here. Hopefully I'll be able to hit that goblin and the sand golem. Wood beats earth, so it'll do increased damage. Perfect. And I gotta pick up these magic stones. And let's use one of these fairy cards here to heal. I want to try to not use too many cards for this level, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Wait for him to use his attack and then summon the man trap. I think I might be able to get some damage up on him. Yep, man trap's doing really good damage. Get him! Get him, boys! There you go. You just gotta take out this hobgoblin and... Oop, discard him. And, oh, Dragon Knight. Oh, what? Man. The Dragon Knight only has 2 charges, so I don't want to use that second charge, but he, like, sidestepped the hell out of me. Sometimes the AI is bad, sometimes it's really good. So that was a pretty intense fight. Those explosive boxes really helped. Charge used, 8. That gives me a 5-star rating. Perfect. So we got 3 cards to choose from. Hopefully we'll get the sand golem. So we'll go 1, 2, and then this one on the end. Oh, I didn't get him. Oh. Got 2 hobgoblins and the mandragora. That's just a way to get your hands on certain cards early, but you can still get your hands on any card in the game. Some cards you have to buy or find, but we'll get that sand golem. Apothecary. This peculiar establishment is run by Gerd. Here the princess can buy and sell cards while acquiring valuable information. Well, well, you've made it this far, and that means you've learned at least the basics of card handling. No thanks to you. I'm called Gerd, and this is my shop. So, and she like reintroduces herself. So I have a feeling that in the early development of this game, she wasn't originally the tutorial person. But she talks about how the fog must be stopped only by a runestone bearer. Which is odd, because the king ran off without taking the runestone. If that's the way to stop the fog, like, he didn't know, but she does. But whatever. He's off meeting with the other kings to find a solution to stop the fog. He's meeting with King Zelnan. Your father does not have a runestone. That means he can't defeat the enemy he faces now. If you're going to catch up to your father, you must start your search in Blasoon. I will be here, tending to my shop. Stop by any time. I've got all the cards you could want. And once again, I'm off to save the world, but these cards aren't gonna, she's gonna, of course, make her money on the side. She's not just gonna give me all the cards I need. So, I've got 50 gold, so I can buy a couple different things. I'll pick up the, I'll pick up a couple Dark Ravens, 'cause those are pretty good. I'll pick up a Dark Raven and the Flying Ray. The Flying Ray is a weapon type card. It's water, and its attack penetrates defenses. So that's pretty fun. Hopefully those will come in handy for the next level. Lassoon is the next level that we'll explore on Lost Kingdoms, and we'll get to that next episode. So thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. You have a good one.